about mercy. Obviously, it says many things. Word Use Day, theme, blessed are the merciful, and the Jubilee of Mercy, merciful like the Father. I'll start with a question that I'd like to ask each one of you. Well, I invite you to answer. This is a book. It's a Bible. Well, it's only the New Testament, but let's pretend it's the whole Bible, Old Testament and New Testament. It's a compilation of different books. It starts from the Genesis until the Apocalypse. My question is to you. Which part of this book is the most important in your opinion? Anyone? Which part of this book, in your opinion, is the most important? All of it? No, there is one part that is the most important. Other answers?
Genesis, we don't exist without it.
Anyone else? Resurrection? Any other answer? What were you saying?
Jesus.
Okay. Anybody else? John 3:16. Anybody else? New Testament. Other answers? No answers? So, the most important part of this book is this one. I don't mean the binding in a tangible way, the physical binding, but that's a book. And it's a compilation of different books. The most important part is what unites all of these books together. The Bible is, in fact, as we all know, and as I've said right now, it's a compilation of different books. Each book has its own hero, who's not a hero, but let's pretend he's a hero of the book. All of these persons have lived in different places, different times, like it goes from minus 2000 before Christ until, I don't know, 33 after Christ, or even more. Most of them, they don't know each other, yet one thing unites them all. Just one. Furthermore, most of these books were not written at the same time when the facts happened. Like, I can give an example. I hope the fathers will say it's correct, that the Gospel of John was written way after, like I think by the end of his life. So, this is to say that these people are all different. Just the way we are, all different. Different cultures, different place, different time, different years. What unites us? What unites them, first and foremost? They have all experienced one same thing. And that thing is the mercy of God. Regardless of where they lived, regardless of when they lived, they have experienced the same mercy of the same God. How could that happen? First question I ask myself, what is it to experience the mercy of God? I don't know. Second question, what is mercy? I don't know neither. Third question, what is the mercy of God and how does it differ from all other kind of mercy? Of course, you know the answer. I don't know. I'm gonna continue my talk, but to this question right now I have no answers. I know that Moses asked God to reveal his name. And in a funny way, God answered, I am who I am. Thank you, God. That wasn't very useful as an answer. But let's go with the flow. He said, I am who I am. From one part, it's funny, like, we just laughed about it. But from other part, it's a very serious answer. And the seriousness of this answer is that it reveals one truth. And the truth is that God said, I am who I am. He didn't say, I am that, I am this, I am good, I am beautiful, I am X, I am Y. He just said, I am who I am. He just could have said, I am. Which means, in a way, that God is the fullness of the being. He doesn't need anything to complement him. He's everything. And he's the ever perfection. And everything that we are, or everything that we have, comes from this big perfection that Saint Augustine called the highest good. Going backward to my first question. If God is the ultimate perfection, the fullness of being, then when we say that God loves us, do you think that he's kind of borrowing a love from the neighborhood shop or from someone else's shop? Or is he, when we say that God is merciful, are we saying that he's borrowing the mercy from somebody else? Of course no. Because we say that he's the fullness of being. So if he's merciful, in a way, it means that God is mercy. And if he loves us, it means that God is love. This brings me to, I used to hate math at school, but this brings me to an equations with two unknown variables. If God equals mercy, and God equals love, even more. If God equals mercy, God equals love, God equals good, God equals whatever we can put there, then what's the common between all of these equations? God, obviously. If I don't know what mercy is, how can I know who God is? And if I don't know who God is, how can I know what mercy is? Because God equals mercy. So, I always used to work smart and not hard. So if I would like to know what mercy is, I have to first and foremost know who God is. It comes together. I believe that all the people on earth, regardless of their religion, whether they are Christian, Muslim, atheist, Buddhist, in a way they are seeking God. Most of the time without knowing him, or without recognizing him, and of course without professing him. Because they are seeking to be loved and to love. This is what we all really seek deep inside our hearts. And I believe furthermore that we as Christians, each one of us has a particular answer of who is God. I'm not talking about the answers of the catechism of the Catholic Church, nor of the answers that are in the Gospels, but I'm talking about each one of us' personal experience. And this reminds me of the extract from the Gospel when Jesus was with his apostles. He asked them two questions. The first one, who do the people say that I am? And here, they gathered and they started all together to give an answer, collectively. Some say you are Elias, some others say you are Jeremy, some others say you are John the Baptist, or maybe one of the prophets. He wasn't convinced. He said, he really didn't care about his popularity. He wasn't doing kind of statistic to see how much the people know him, or who do they say that he is. He doesn't care. He asked one second question. Who do you say that I am? He really wanted to have a personal encounter with each and every one of his disciples. And here there is only one man who answered, who is Peter. He said, you are the Christ, the Son of God and Son of Man. What happened between the first and the second question? A leap of faith. We can call it's a kind of conversion. To answer the first question, we obviously have to hide behind the opinion of others, of what people have taught us, that are correct things maybe, but did we experience them personally? Whereas for the second question, to me personally, who God is, then I have to look deep inside me and not around me. I have to listen to this inner voice that's in me in order to give an answer. Let's imagine right now that we are, we are like 200 in this room. I invite each one of you to imagine that he's alone in his room, in this room, and that there's Christ next to him, and he's asking him that same question. To you, who do you say that I am? Forget about everything you have learned. Forget about YTOL, about your meetings, about your confirmation, first communion. Forget about everything. Just try to be true to yourself right here, right now. If you would like to, just take a few seconds. Think about it right now. To you, who do you say that I am? Just be true to yourself. You can even tell him, I don't know you. That's okay. That's a great answer, in fact. It's not just an okay answer. It's a great answer. As long as we are open to know him, it's a great answer to say, I don't know you. And he would be the most happy person on earth and in heaven. Regardless of what your answer was, if you have been true to yourself, it's a true answer. It's a genuine answer. It's a correct answer. Coming back to my question, who is God? The answer is easy. We don't have to understand everything in order to believe. Saint Augustine used to say, believe first, and after you understand. I'll give you an example. Look at the immensity of the universe. Like our solar system. We have 9 planets, and I believe they are discovering some more planets. How many stars there are in the universe, in our solar system? How many universes there are? Who knows? We are that much big comparing to the immensity of the universe, and we don't know how the universe is functioning or what is behind. There's still a part of mystery in it. So that teach us to be humble in a way, because everything, like many things, we have to accept that will remain a mystery for now, and it's not bad. On the contrary, it's good for us, and it invites us to take the road, to go for an adventure, and that's the beauty of faith. It's about an adventure. In the Old Testament, when God answered Moses, he didn't reveal his name. As I said, he said, I am who I am. Doesn't make any sense. But in the New Testament, we received a gift. We received an answer. And the answer came with Christ when he said, who see me, see the Father. So, if I would like to sum it up all, I would say it's kind of saying that if we know Christ, if we get to know Christ through all the sacraments, the Eucharist and everything, it's kind of we get to know God the Father, who is also my Father, your Father, and our Father. One time I heard a priest saying during a homily, he said, it was during Christmas time, he said that when Christ was born, he made us the perfect gift. He accepted to share with us his Father. And when Christ was on the cross, he made us a second gift. He accepted to share with us his mother. All the stories in this book are stories of people who have experienced this same God, this same mercy, regardless of where they lived, of when they lived. They have experienced and they have seen and shown the true face of God. Once they experienced the mercy of God, they were like overwhelmed to a point that they were able themselves to show this same merciful face of the Father in their daily life. Yet, there's always a yet. In French we say, il y a toujours un mais. There's nothing is perfect. Yet, this book is not complete. As beautiful as it is, it's not complete. Do you know what's missing in this book? Anyone? Very true. What's missing in the book is my story. It's your story. It's the story of each one of us. Have we experienced the mercy of God in our lives? Each one of us know the answer. Nobody can answer for the other. It's a personal encounter, in fact. And nobody can argue about the experience that the other person have had. If God created us without our consent, as Saint Augustine says, He cannot saves us without our consent. That's the sad part of the story. We have to do one little thing. Not because He needs us, or He's not almighty and He can't do things without us, but because He wants us. And there's a whole bunch of difference between needing and wanting. Wanting comes from the desire of the heart, which comes with the love. He wants us because He loves us. And how does He love us? For free. Without asking for anything. Neither before loving us, nor after loving us. It's the most pure form of love, to love for free. And I believe none of us here can, or outside of here, for a human being, it's really hard to love for free. Because our deep inner self is always looking to be loved in return. If I love somebody that much, deep inside me, even though I might say, no, I love you for free, but at some point I'm expecting to be loved, even just a little, in return. And if that other person don't treat me in the exact same way like I'm treating him or her, then that's what's called brokenness, deception, and it's normal, it's human, we are all creatures. If God loves me for free, it means, in a way, that He doesn't want to pour out in me a love that's coming from other parts, or a mercy that's coming from other parts. He would like to pour out in me one thing, Himself, only. And to do that, He needs one thing from me, my approval. Sometimes I think, poor God, he's at the mercy of humans because He needs their approval in order to love them. But that's reality, kind of. And we sometimes think that we have to be perfect in order to deserve the love of God, or we have to improve that little thing that's in my life that's still bothering me right now, or we have to better ourselves in order to deserve or to be worthy to stand in front of God. But that's the whole point. He doesn't care right here, right now. He just needs one thing. He needs us to tell him, yes, you can start your work. That's all. Yes, you can come and start to love, to pour out yourself. Just a simple yes. Whether we know him right now or we don't know him. It's that little teeny word of 3 letters, yes, that makes the whole difference. Don't wait to improve that little thing that's bothering you and bothering me. That's not the point. It's about right here, right now, just the way you are and I am. And the whole idea is that God is the only one who, not just he can love us at the exact place where we are wounded, but this is where he wants to love us. It's not because this is a place where nobody else wants to love us, but no, this is where he wants, it's his number one purpose. In our weak, when we feel weak, in our regrets, in our wounds, in everything that's bothering us, that's the exact place where, in our emptiness, that's the exact place where he would like to pour out himself in us. Being a Christian or a Catholic is not about being perfect, is not neither about feeling the privilege that, oh, thanks God I was born Christian, I was not born like others. Of course, no. It's neither about bettering oneself, like all the self-help books, that are great, but it's not about Christian. It's not the definition of a Christian. A Christian has only one definition. It's a son accompanied by a father. Basta. That's all. Along the way, he falls, he runs, he walks, he sits. He has that same trust that he's walking side by side by his father. That's all. Our life has the same difficulties and the same joys as all other humans' life. We're in nothing better than others. We might sometimes be worse even. I remember once I read a quote. Someone asked Paolo Bergoglio, who became later on Pope Francis, how do you define your life? If I ask you that same question, how would you define your life? Do you have any answer? Even if that's between you and yourself, without saying it loud? He had one simple answer. I'm a sinner, and that's not bad to say it. There's nothing shameful in it, because we are human. He could have said, I'm a human, instead of I'm a sinner. There's a saying, in fact. I'm a sinner, but I trust in the infinite mercy of God. Usually, most of us know that the people who are unable to love are the ones who didn't feel being loved, or maybe they were loved but in a wrong way. And the ones who are unable to forgive are the ones who maybe weren't forgiven or were forgiven in a wrong way. That being said, if God is the fullness of love and the fullness of mercy, then He's the only one who could be able to teach us how to be merciful, like the Father is. We love because He loves us first. And we are merciful to others, or we can learn to be merciful to others, because He was merciful to us first. And as much as we are merciful to others, He is merciful to us more and more. But it's not in a philosophy of, I give you £5, you give me £5 back, not at all. But because it's the abundance of mercy that we feel and that we give. It's a kind of a circle of love, a big dynamic of love and of mercy that is being created. Getting to know Christ is getting to know the Father. And getting to know the Father is getting to know His mercy, because God is mercy. His name is mercy. It is experiencing His mercy in my story, in the story of my life, right here, right now, as it is. As it is. I don't need to improve anything in it. Right here, right now. And experiencing His mercy in my life is the only way I have to learn the true meaning of being merciful to other myself. The way He was to me when I encountered Him, and the way He is each and every day. Because I don't think that we can encounter Christ just once. Or maybe we can feel the big booming of His love and mercy maybe once. The lucky people are the ones who feel it many times in terms of emotion. But it's every day, each and every day, we have to try to experience and to say how mercy God is to us. As long as we are humble and open to do so, and to invite Him to our life, to pour out Himself in us. I'd like to conclude with what Pope Francis said himself. The Lord's invitation to encounter Him is made to each of you. In whatever place or situation you find yourself, it's sufficient to have the desire for a renewed personal encounter with Jesus Christ, or at least an openness to letting Him encounter you. But it is enough to take a small step towards Jesus, to realize that He awaits us always with open arms, particularly in the sacrament of reconciliation, a privileged opportunity that divine mercy which purifies us and renews our hearts. Dear young people, the Lord wants to meet us, to let Himself be seen by us. Saint Teresa of Avila said once, I want to see God. And then she tried to explore her faith in a way, and she found and discovered that the way of prayer is an intimate friendship with the one who makes us feel loved. Everything in Jesus speaks about mercy, and seeing Jesus, encountering Him, is also encountering the mercy of the Father, because who sees Jesus sees the Father. Indeed, He is Himself mercy. Looking in the merciful eyes of Jesus, we find ourselves again, our true selves, not the one that we were said that we are, not the things that we were taught, but our very true self. Thank you. I don't know how many of you are going to Word Tuesday? All Portugal. Okay, nice. So we need your help, guys, because we didn't have. Now, what we're going to do now, just before our transition between Lebanon and USA, because the US also has a talk, we're going to sing the theme of Word Tuesday, Blessed are the Merciful. We had it in all languages except the Portuguese. But we have all Portugal with us, so it's...
Bem-aventurados os misericordiosos, porque eles alcançarão misericórdia. Bem-aventurados os misericordiosos, porque eles alcançarão misericórdia. Levantarei